Hello students and welcome back to week 2 of our first unit, Cells and Systems. This week we'll be talking about tissues and organs, or tissue and organs. So, similar to last week, take the first 2 minutes to write one thing you learned about tissues or organs this week. Teachers, once again, feel free to pause the video for 2 minutes and let students write. Okay, now that you wrote down one thing you learned, let's see what we did learn this week. So, first we started off with tissue. And some key questions to know are what is tissue made of? What are the different types of tissue? And then on Tuesday you learned about organs. So what is a good analogy to describe organs? What are the components of organs? And then on Wednesday we focus on human organs. So what are some of the major organs in the human body? What are the vital organs, or what are vital organs, and which organs are vital organs in the human body? And then finally you learn about organ systems. What are the 11 different organ systems in humans? And what is the role of each of these organ systems? So these are some questions that you should answer, but we'll review them today so you'll be able to answer them by the end of the video. So we're going to start off with a few notes. Pay attention to the slides and fill in the blanks with the relevant information. So let's start off with the first question. What is tissue? Well, tissue is made up of groups of cells that all serve similar purposes. So all of these cells that form the tissue are all serving the same purpose of the group, and that's what tissue is. And cells are the building blocks of tissue. There are 4 major types of tissue that are found in the human body, and the first one would be connective. This is the most common type of tissue in our body and helps provide support and protection in our body. And then we have epithelial. Epithelial is this type of tissue is commonly found in the lining of our stomach or other passageways in the body. It serves to protect these passageways, help absorb nutrients, and release fluid. And then we have muscle tissue, and this tissue is located in our muscles and work by expanding and contracting, which allow for movement. There are 3 further subcategories of muscle tissue, which we'll review a little bit later when we talk about the muscular system. And then we have nervous. This tissue helps other organs and body systems communicate by transmitting signals between each other. There are 2 types of neural cells. There are neurons and glial cells. And then homeostasis. Homeostasis is the body's tendency to remain in equilibrium. So this is a key term that you should know, and it just deals with the body's tendency to maintain equilibrium. So you don't want to be too hot or too cold, and the body just wants to maintain balance, which is homeostasis. And then here we have on the side just a few examples of the tissue and kind of what they look like. So now, what are organs? Well, organs are made up of various types of tissue that sometimes serve different purposes. So an example would be the eye. The eye has various tissues and cells like muscle tissue that help you blink, and nerve cells that help transmit signals from the eye to the brain. So you see something, and then nerve signals will transmit from your eye to your brain so you recognize what you're looking at. And then remember the book analogy that we learned during the at-home activity. Different parts of the book help it function. If some parts are missing, the book will be less effective. And poor treatment of the book can result in it being ruined. So if you spill water on it, or you drop it on the ground and the pages scatter, poor treatment of the book will result in it being ruined. So it'll be harder to read. You won't be able to make out what it says on the pages. And organs function very similar, where if you don't treat them right and don't keep them healthy, they could be ruined, and this could be very dangerous for your body. And then organs serve specialized purposes in the organism. So each organ has its own role in the body, and they work together to basically make the organism run smoothly. And animals and plants have organs and organ systems. Think of plants, how they have leaves, roots, stems, flowers, etc. These are kind of the different organs in a plant, but we're going to focus on human organs. And then you look at this pyramid. You start off with chemicals, then cells, tissue, organ systems, and then you have the organism. So like a human would be an organism. Organ systems, we'll talk about them later. Just remember that's how it goes. It starts off with chemicals and goes up from there. And then human organs. So we have various organs within our body, and each of them serve a major purpose in the body. So here we have in the photo, we have a few different organs. Here we have the intestines, the liver, the lungs, the thyroid, brain, heart, stomach, kidneys, and bladder. And each of these organs have their own role. And then we have what's called the vital organs. So there are 5 vital organs in the human that a human has that must work properly in order for survival. So if one of these organs fails and medical treatment is not readily available, there's a high likelihood of death. And these organs are the heart. So the heart is located in the chest and helps pump blood throughout the body. Blood carries important substances to wherever they are needed and helps remove waste from the body. And then we have the brain. The brain is located in the head and functions as the body's control center. It is the seat of all thoughts, memories, perceptions, and feelings. So the brain is very important. And then we have the kidneys. The kidneys are located in the back of the abdomen and on either side of the body, so back here. And they filter blood and create urine, which is excreted from the body. So they filter the blood and form urine, and that's sent out of the body. And then we have the liver. The liver is located on the right side of the abdomen. Its function includes filtering blood, secreting bile that is necessary for digestion. So it secretes bile that helps digest your food, and then producing proteins that are necessary for blood clotting. So you know when you cut yourself and then the blood runs a little while and then you see like that hard piece of like almost like dried blood that forms, kind of like a scab. That's what blood clotting is, and the liver is important for that reason. And then finally, we have the lungs that are located on either side of the upper chest. And their main function is exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide with the blood. So we use oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. So the lungs are very important for that reason. And you should remember that these are vital organs, so we need them for survival. So we must take good care of them. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So start thinking about different ways we can protect our vital organs to ensure that we live long and healthy lives. So then we have the organ system. So there are 11 main organ systems in the human body, and we'll go over them briefly right now because we'll go over a few of the main organ systems in the next 2 weeks, and we'll focus on each one and their role and what they do. So the integumentary system includes skin, hair, nails, and serves to protect the body from outside pathogens. So, we have skin, we have hair, we have nails. So the skin protects us from everything around us, and that's important. And then we have the skeletal, which includes bones, joints, and teeth, and it serves to protect major organs. So we have the skull is a bone, and that helps us protect our brain that's within our skull. So if we bump our head, we have the skull here, so our brain doesn't get damaged. Of course, if you bump your head too hard, you could get a concussion, and that's basically when the brain is damaged. So the skull is good for protection, but of course, any hit that you take that's too hard, it might be damaging to your organ. And then we have muscular, which includes muscles that can be divided into categories such as skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. So skeletal muscles are one, smooth, and cardiac. And we'll talk about them when we go over the muscular system, but just remember there are 3 subcategories. And then we have the nervous system. So the nervous system includes the brain, the spinal cord, and nerves, and serves to control voluntary and involuntary responses in the body. So voluntary, of course, would be something you can control, like me moving my hand or you picking something up. And then involuntary is something we don't have control over, like breathing, blinking, stuff like that. Or, of course, blinking is something you can do voluntary, but oftentimes it's something we don't control. So that's why it's considered involuntary. So then we have the endocrine system, which consists of various glands within the body and serves to regulate important bodily functions. So some glands regulate metabolism, some regulate growth, some regulate emotion. Each gland or different glands have different roles within the body. And then we have the circulatory system, which includes the heart, blood vessels, and serves to transport things like nutrients or waste materials throughout the body. And then we have the urinary system, which includes the kidneys and serves to remove waste from the body. And then we have the respiratory system, which includes nasal passages, lungs, the trachea, and serves to deliver oxygen to the blood and remove carbon dioxide from the body. So we breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide. And then we have the immune system, which includes the thymus glands and serves to help fight infections through the use of white blood cells. And then the digestive system includes the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small and large intestines, and serves to process the food that we eat. So when we eat food, we digest it, we get the nutrients, and that's what the digestive system would do. And then the reproductive system includes organs for males and females that are different. They're different between males and females and serve to aid reproduction. We'll learn about that a little bit later, more like next year. You'll learn about that. But for now, just know that in males and females, it's different organs. So now we're going to do an activity where you're going to think about how we can defend our vital organs. Remember that it's very dangerous if we don't protect our vital organs because vital organs are necessary for our survival. So take 3 minutes to think of and write down 2 ways you can protect your vital organs. And then take 2 minutes to discuss with a classmate and write down 1 way they recommend protecting vital organs. Remember, when you're discussing with classmates, please maintain proper social distancing. And if you can't properly social distance yourself from your classmate, consider maybe just having a class discussion. So teachers, you can decide if it's safe for students to go around talking to one of their classmates, or if you'd rather have a discussion. So take a moment to pause the video for about 5 minutes while students complete this activity. So now that you've discussed different ways to protect vital organs, here are a few ways that I've listed that you can protect your vital organs. So first of all, staying hydrated. Staying hydrated by drinking good amounts of water every day. It is recommended to drink about 4 to 6 glasses of water every day. So staying hydrated is key for the protection of your vital organs and for simply staying healthy and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So always have water when you're eating food and try to drink water instead of drinking very processed foods like sodas or juices. It's always good just to have some water because that will help you stay hydrated and healthy. And then 2 would be to eat a balanced diet that contains a significant amount of fruits and vegetables. Make sure you're also getting protein and limiting the amount of processed foods like chips, candy, or cookies. So processed foods, these include, a lot of junk food that is not good for you, and it includes a lot of things that aren't good for your body, whereas fruits and vegetables, they're healthy, and if you eat them in good quantities, you should be able to have a very balanced diet and stay very healthy. And then exercising constantly to protect your organs. So it doesn't mean that you have to go out and run and lift weights all the time for 2 hours every day. It just means that you should go out, take walks, or play sports with your friends. So go out with your friends, of course maintaining proper social distancing, but go out for walks and play sports. It doesn't mean you have to go out and do a very organized routine. Just stay active and don't spend a lot of the day sitting down, at a computer or, doing work. It's always good to balance your day and make sure you have some time outside so you can be able to exercise your body. And then don't smoke at all in your life. Smoking is damaging, very, very damaging to your vital organs and is very addictive. So protect yourself from the dangers of smoking and secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke would, of course, be when you may not be smoking, but someone nearby you is smoking. This is especially dangerous in closed areas like a room or like a building where someone else is smoking and you breathe in that smoke, and that can be very damaging to things like your lungs, especially your lungs. And remember, lungs are one of the vital organs, so don't smoke and limit your exposure to secondhand smoke. And then, of course, visit doctors regularly to get a checkup. Yearly checkups are important for monitoring your health and the health of your vital organs. So it's really good to get a yearly checkup where you go to the doctor and the doctor will be able to monitor you and see how you're doing, if you're staying healthy, and they can help provide you with recommendations of how you can change your diet or how different ways you can stay active or healthy. And doctors always have great recommendations that are specific to you. So maybe you need to exercise a little more or mix it up and have different kinds of vegetables or different proteins in your diet. So doctors are great to help you monitor your vital organs and overall your health. So all of these are basically components of a healthy lifestyle that you may have learned of before, and they're very important because they protect your vital organs, which are necessary for survival. So now we're going to do an activity called the organ system tier list. So all organ systems are important, but which ones are the most important? Try placing each organ system in a category that represents its importance. Write down some justifications as to why you place the organ system in that category. So we know that all organ systems are important because they all have a very important role in your body. But will be just kind of a fun activity to see which organs you believe are the most important. So do you think the respiratory system is the most important, or do you think the circulatory system is most important? So basically, you want to kind of rank them. So you'll have different categories, and then you'll have like S, A, and B. So the ones in S would be like the most important, like very super important, and then A would be like, yeah, they're important, and then B, they're a little bit less important. But of course, you have to remember that none of these organ systems are useless because they, of course, have a role in your body. So for the first 10 minutes, based on the purpose of each organ system, place them on the tier list. So S would mean critically important, while B is important, but not as much. And then for the last 5 minutes, have a class discussion about your rankings and think about how they compare to your rankings. So if someone said, hey, I believe that the respiratory and the nervous system are critically important, well, you said, oh, I think the endocrine and the muscular system are the most important. You want to listen to other people's perspectives and write down one organ system that you would consider moving either up or down in importance after listening to your classmates. So this activity will be very helpful for you to first justify or review the organ systems, then justify their importance, and of course, it'll help you discuss and listen to other perspectives. So teachers, if you want to take about 15 minutes, pause the video and let students write and then let students discuss. Of course, make sure that the students discuss after about 10 minutes so everyone can listen to other perspectives and be informed of what the rest of their classmates said. So that is basically all for today. If you have a little bit of extra time in class, like last week, you can go through your activities from the week, and if you didn't finish any, make sure you finish them. And if you have questions, make sure to either ask the teacher or ask your friends because they might have some answers that you didn't get. So thank you very much, and good luck with your tier list activity, and have a great day.